Hello everyone, this is Sam from Language Atlas, and in this video, I would like to show you the Korean A1 vocabulary Anki deck. In this video, we will go over three things. First, I would like to show the course structure of the Korean A1 vocabulary Anki deck. Second, I'd like to show the course content. And third, I'd like to show you some brief, system, and editing options. Now, as you can tell, I have the Korean A1 vocabulary Anki deck right over here. Now, normally you would double click on Anki deck to open it, but I've already done so, as you can see right over here. So just maximize Anki, and I'd like to get started with my first point, which is to show you the course structure. Now, inside the overall Korean A1 vocabulary Anki deck, you can see that there are 9 chapters, beginning with chapter 1 pronouns, chapter 2 conjunctions, chapter 3 verbs, chapter 4 determiners and endings, chapter 5 nouns and adjectival nouns, chapter 6 adjectives, chapter 7 adverbs, chapter 8 prepositions and particles, and finally chapter 9 numbers. Now if I go to chapter 5 nouns and adjectival nouns, you can see that there's a little plus icon in front of it. After clicking on it, you can tell that there are subdecks inside of it, 20 to be precise. Now what I've done is that I've categorized all nouns by theme, ranging from academia and intellect, animals, arts and entertainment, all the way to time, maths and numbers, and transportation. Now the reason that I've done so is that I wanted to categorize nouns by theme, as you can tell, and I did this because I wanted you to be able to practice nouns by whichever theme you're most interested in. So for example, if you wish to learn more about body and health, you can do so. If you wish to learn more about electronics and technology, you can do so. If you wish to learn more about materials and substances or nature and environment, whichever theme you like to learn more about, via this way, you're able to do so. So that was my first point, which is to show you the course structure. Now I'd like to go to my second point, which is to show you the course content. And I'll do so by having a look at 3 decks within the overall Korean A1 vocabulary Anki deck. I'd like to have a look at chapter 5 nouns and adjectival nouns. I'd like to have a look at chapter 6 adjectives. And I'd like to have a look at chapter 3 verbs. Now, the reason that I'm showing you these 3 decks is because I can't show you all of them, but I do believe that by having a look at these 3, you're better able to understand the overall Korean A1 vocabulary Anki deck. You'll have a better feeling, a better image. I really think they're representative of the overall deck. And this way, you will really understand what it is like if you do this Anki deck. So, I'd like to get started with chapter 5, nouns and adjectival nouns, but just a little note on this name over here. This chapter is called Nouns and Adjectival Nouns because Korean has some noun-like words that are descriptive. In English, they may feel like adjectives, but in Korean, they behave more like noun-based words. So, chapter 5 nouns and adjectival nouns, I like to go to home, and I like to click on study now. So, over here, this is our first card type. We see a Korean sentence with a blank area, and it's your job to know what goes inside of the blank area. Underneath the Korean sentence, we have an English translation of the Korean sentence. The baby is having a bubble bath in the bathroom, and you can tell that bath is bolded and underlined. This is because it's your job to know what bath is in Korean. We have over here, underneath the English sentence, we have a visual representation of the sentence and especially the word that we're trying to learn. Now, many studies have shown that if you have such a visual representation, in this case an image, if you have such a visual representation, it's much easier for you and to understand and memorize the word and sentence that you're trying to learn. So this over here is hugely to your benefit. There's one more thing that I'd like to say about the Korean sentence and all Korean sentences in this deck. Now, the sentences are generally written in natural, learner-friendly Korean, and many of them use the polite form, sometimes called heyoche. Now, if you're a bit curious about what this polite form means, don't worry, I'll explain more about this later, but this is just something that I wanted to share with you now. So, what is the correct word for bath in Korean?
아기가 욕실에서 거품 목욕을 하고 있어요. 목욕.
Great. So, we can see that the backside of the card has 3 areas. We have the sentence area, which is the first area. We have a word area, which is the second area. And over here, we have a little bonus area, which is the third one, which is hanja. So I'd like to get started by showing you the sentence area. Over here, we have the correct Korean answer sentence with the word that we're looking for bolded and in the color indigo. Now, does the color indigo have a special meaning? No, it does not. The only reason that it's indigo is so that you can immediately spot the correct answer in the answer sentence. So this is a nice visual cue. It makes your life a lot easier. You can immediately find the correct answer in the sentence. So that was the correct Korean answer sentence with the word that we're looking for. We have over here the IPA notation. And the IPA notation is here for those that would like to work even harder on the pronunciation, would like to have more detail, would like to fine-tune the pronunciation. The IPA notation is simply a nice little aid and shows you how the sentence or the word is pronounced. So this is here if you want to have an extra aid for pronunciation. Underneath that, we have an English translation sentence, but we've already seen this before. The baby is having a bubble bath in the bathroom. And we have audio.
아기가 욕실에서 거품 목욕을 하고 있어요.
Great. So that was the sentence area. Now I'd like to go to the second area, which is the word area. Over here, we see the correct Korean word. We see the IPA notation. Again, this helps with pronunciation. We have the English translation, and we have audio.
목욕.
Now, there's one thing I like to say about the word, and that this is the base form or the dictionary form of the word. So this is the form you would normally look up in a dictionary if you want to know the word for bath. So great. Sentence, word, and over here, the third area is hanja. This is the hanja area. So some Korean words may also show hanja. Hanja are the Chinese characters connected to some Korean words. You don't need to memorize the hanja to use the deck, but they can help you recognize connections between Korean words. So I really think it's a nice little extra, nice little bonus to have over here. And I do believe that over time you will see patterns. So, and again, that will help you with learning and understanding Korean. So we have the sentence area, we have over here the word area, and this is the word in dictionary form, and we have the hanja. Let's continue. The bottle cap won't open. How do you say bottle?
병 뚜껑이 안 열려요. 병.
Great. So, sentence, word that we're looking for, bolded in the color indigo, IPA, English, audio.
병 뚜껑이 안 열려요.
And we have the word over here, IPA, English translation, audio,
병.
and the hanja as well. And of course, the words, the dictionary form. My bedroom is very clean. How do you say bedroom?
제 침실은 아주 깨끗해요. 침실.
Great. Let's do another one. Please make sure to close the door when you leave. How do you say door?
나갈 때 문을 꼭 닫아주세요. 문.
Great. Please write with a pencil, not a ballpoint pen. How do you say pencil?
볼펜 말고 연필로 써주세요. 연필.
Please write your name with a black pen. How do you say pen?
검은색 펜으로 이름을 써주세요. 펜.
And let's do one more. The bed is too hard, so my back hurts. How do you say bed in Korean?
침대가 너무 딱딱해서 허리가 아파요. 침대.
Great. So one more time. I think you know the setup. Sentence area, IPA, English, and audio.
침대가 너무 딱딱해서 허리가 아파요.
And of course, the nice little extra over here is that the word is bold and in the color indigo, so you can immediately spot it. We have the correct word over here, the IPA, the English, and audio.
침대.
And this is a dictionary form of the word. And finally, we have the hanja. So that's what I want to show you for the nouns and adjectival nouns. I'd like to go to chapter 6, adjectives. And I'd like to click on study now. And we have over here a similar setup. We have Korean sentence, a blank area. It's your job to know what goes inside of the blank area. We have your Korean pronunciation is truly great, so which is the English translation. And great is bolded and underlined. So you have to know what the word great is in Korean. And finally, we have a visual representation of the sentence and especially the word that we're looking for. So this will help you a lot when it comes to memorization and understanding. So how do you say great?
한국어 발음이 정말 훌륭해요. 훌륭해요. 훌륭한. 훌륭하다.
Great. So I'd like to get started with the sentence area. And this is something that we've seen before. We have the correct answer sentence, and we have the words we're looking for in Korean in the color indigo, and it's also bolded. We have the IPA notation, and this is a nice little extra if you want to practice your pronunciation. We have the English translation sentence, and we have audio.
한국어 발음이 정말 훌륭해요.
But now we see something interesting going on over here. We see two areas which have the word great. So what is this all about? So this adjective card is a good moment to explain an important Korean idea, which is the difference between the polite form and the dictionary form. Now earlier with nouns, the dictionary form was simple. It was just the noun by itself. And this is because Korean nouns do not really have polite forms. The Korean politeness is usually shown through sentence endings, especially in verbs and adjectives. So the noun itself normally stays the same. So a sentence with a noun can be polite, but the noun itself is just shown in its base form. However, with adjectives, this is different. Korean adjectives change form when they are used in sentences. So on the back of the card, you will see the adjective more than once. You will see it in the polite form, which is this one, which is used in sentences. And you have the base form or the dictionary form. This is what you will look up in the dictionary. So just a little check over here, this word and this word are the same because it's the polite form and it's used in sentences. So a bit more about the polite form. Over here we can see the polite form, and most polite form words tend to end with a yo sound, as you can see right over here. Let's have a listen to it.
훌륭해요.
Great. So I advise you to have a look at the ending so you can immediately spot them. Now, the polite form is an ideal starting form to learn because it's respectful without sounding overly formal. You can use it in many everyday situations with people you do not know well, in shops, in restaurants, with teachers, with staff, and also with people you know where you want to sound polite or respectful. So one more time, this is the polite form used in sentences. Have a look at the ending over here, which is a yo sound.
훌륭해요.
Right. And over here we have the dictionary form. And the dictionary form is the base form of the word. It is the form you would usually look up in a dictionary. Now for Korean adjectives and verbs, the dictionary form often ends with a da sound, as you can see right over here. Let's have a look.
훌륭하다.
So these two are not really different words. They're just different versions of the same adjective. The polite form is used in sentences, as you can tell right over here. Look at the ending as well. And the dictionary form is simply what you look up in the dictionary if you want to find the meaning. In this case, it's great. So there's one more thing over here that I haven't explained. You see a dash, and after the dash, there's a word. This is also the same adjective, but it is used before a noun. So we're learning the word great over here. So before a noun is used like great teacher or great pronunciation. I've included this because Korean adjectives often need a different form when they come before a noun. So one more time, this over here is the polite form. This over here is a dictionary form. We use the polite form in sentences, as you can see right over here. And this over here is simply the same adjective, but it's the one you use if the adjective is before a noun. So think of the word great teacher or great pronunciation. So let's have a listen again.
훌륭해요. 훌륭한.
And the dictionary form.
훌륭하다.
Great. This train is much better than the bus. How do you say better?
기차가 버스보다 훨씬 나아요. 나아요. 나은. 낫다.
Great. So one more time, we have the sentence area. Over here, we have the polite form of the word. And the polite form is used in sentences, as you can see right over here. We have the dictionary form of the word. And this is what you would want to look up in the dictionary if you're looking for the word better. And over here, after the dash, is also the same adjective, but it's used before a noun. In this case, better. And again, we have the same IPA notation. We have the same English translation. We have the audio.
나아요. 나은.
And again, dictionary form, IPA notation, English translation, and audio.
낫다.
I've been sick since yesterday. How do you say sick?
어제부터 계속 아파요. 아파요. 아픈. 아프다.
Great. So sentence area, over here you can see the polite form is used. With the polite form of the word, we have the dictionary form of the word, and this is what you use if the adjective is used before a noun. And again, we have the IPA notation, the English translation and audio.
아파요. 아픈.
And again, in dictionary form, we have the IP annotation, English translation and audio.
아프다.
The owner of this restaurant is always friendly. How do you say friendly?
이 식당 주인은 항상 친절해요. 친절해요. 친절한. 친절하다.
The new trainers are as light as a feather. How do you say light?
새 운동화가 깃털처럼 가벼워요. 가벼워요. 가벼운. 가볍다.
Is there a sure way? How do you say sure?
확실한 방법이 있어요? 확실해요. 확실한. 확실하다.
And if you have a look at the correct answer sentence, you can see that it's not the first version over here that we've been looked at, but over here we use the word after the dash. That is because in this case, the adjective is before the noun, sure way. So use the other one. So this is also a good example of why I have added both of these in here. And again, the structure you already know. Sentence, we have the polite form, and of course, the version of the adjective, you use it before the noun, and we have the dictionary. The atmosphere at this company is really free. How do you say free?
이 회사는 분위기가 정말 자유로워요. 자유로워요. 자유로운. 자유롭다.
Great. So this is really what I wanted to show you. I'll just do a small little recap. We have the sentence area over here. We have the polite form. As you can tell, it's used as well. Please note the ending, the yo sound.
자유로워요.
Great. We have the dictionary form over here. Please note the da ending sound.
자유롭다.
Great. And of course, we have the adjective form if it's used before a noun. So polite form, adjective before a noun, IP annotation, English translation, audio.
자유로워요.
And we have the
자유로운.
And we have the dictionary form, IP annotation, which helps for pronunciation, English translation, audio.
자유롭다.
And finally, we have the hanja. So that is what I want to show you for adjectives. Now I'd like to go to chapter 3, verbs. And I'd like to click on study now. So we have over here. So this is a card type that we've seen before already. Korean sentence, blank area. We have an English translation of the Korean sentence. And there's a certain part bold and underlined. Leaves fall to the ground. We have to know what fall is. And we see a visual representation of the sentence and the word that we're looking for. In this case, it's an image. And yeah, fall. How do you say fall in Korean?
나뭇잎이 바닥으로 떨어져요. 떨어져요. 떨어지다.
Great. So the setup is something that we're already familiar with. So here the same polite form and dictionary form idea applies as before. So we have the sentence, we have the polite form, and we have the dictionary form. So sentence, correct answer sentence. We have the words we're looking for bolded and in the color indigo, so you can immediately spot the correct answer. We have the IP annotation, which will help with your pronunciation. We have the English translation, and we have audio.
나뭇잎이 바닥으로 떨어져요.
We have the polite form of the word. And again, as we mentioned before, the polite form is what you will use in sentences. Polite form of the word. We have the IP annotation. We have the English translation of the audio.
떨어져요.
And notice the yo ending sound.
떨어져요.
Great. Over here, we have the dictionary form. And this is the base form of the word. This is the form that you would look up if you want to look up to fall in a dictionary. Dictionary form, IP annotation, English translation. And notice the da ending sound.
떨어지다.
Great. On weekends, families enjoy watching films together. How do you say enjoy?
주말에는 가족들이 함께 영화를 즐겨요. 즐겨요. 즐기다.
Great. Moving house costs quite a lot. How do you say costs?
이사할 때 비용이 꽤 많이 들어요. 들어요. 들다.
Minsu goes to school on foot every day. How do you say goes?
민수 씨는 매일 걸어서 학교에 가요. 가요. 가다.
Great. The family watches television after dinner. How do you say watches?
가족들이 저녁 식사 후에 텔레비전을 봐요. 봐요. 보다.
Birds fly in the sky. How do you say fly?
새들이 파란 하늘을 날아요. 날아요. 날다.
The parents let them go on a trip. How do you say let?
부모님이 여행 가는 것을 허락해요. 허락해요. 허락하다.
Let's do one more. I miss my hometown friends. How do you say miss?
저는 고향 친구들이 그리워요. 그리워요. 그립다.
Great. So final recap. We have the sentence area with the correct sentence with the word that we're looking for bolded and in the color indigo so you can immediately know the correct answer. IP notation which helps with pronunciation. English translation and audio.
저는 고향 친구들이 그리워요.
We have the word in a polite form, and the polite form is what you use in sentences. Mind the yo ending.
그리워요.
And you can see it right over here as well. With the IP notation, which helps with pronunciation, English translation, and audio.
그리워요.
Finally, we have the dictionary form. Notice the da ending.
그립다.
And IPA, English, and audio.
그립다.
Great. So those were the decks that I wanted to show you. I'd like to conclude my second point, which was to show the course content. Now I'd like to go to my third point, which is to show you some brief system and editing options. Now, you may have noticed that all of the exercises we have done so far were fill-in-the-blank exercises. You see a sentence with a blank area. It's your job to know what goes inside of that blank area. Well, for those that want to practice their spelling, there's an optional typing exercise. This is disabled by default, but I will show you how to enable it. So we'll go to Browse. Just minimize this. And you see over here, I have the Korean A1 vocabulary Anki deck. If I scroll down, you can see that there's an area over here called Enable Typing Practice. Now, all I have to do is enter the word yes over here, and you'll get an additional typing exercise. Now, doing this one by one will take a very long time, so I'll show you how to do it in a faster way. Click on any card, it doesn't matter which one. Then do Control A or Command A, right mouse click, Notes, Find and Replace. We want to find the empty area and we want to replace it with the word yes. And we want to do this for the Enable Typing Practice field. So find empty, replace yes in Enable Typing Practice. You see that all the notes, all the sentences have been updated. And you can see that there's a yes over here. So let's have a look at what the typing exercise looks like. I will go to Home and I am going to click on Study Now. So now we see the second card type, which is the typing exercise. This is a sentence that we've already seen before. The bed is too hard, so my back hurts. And we have to know the word bed. Now, before we only had to know the word, but now we actually have to spell the word. We have to type the word. So let's see what happens if I enter the correct answer.
침대가 너무 딱딱해서 허리가 아파요. 침대.
Great. So, as you can tell, if I answer the word correctly, Anki shows it to us in the color green. So Anki gives you immediate feedback on whether you answered correctly or not. So this is a really good exercise if you want to practice your typing, if you want to practice your spelling as well. But what happens if we do not know the correct answer? I'm going to enter a wrong answer.
정원에 장미꽃이 활짝 피었어요. 정원.
And you can tell this is what happened. So the first part, red, which means that it was incorrect. Second part, green, which means that it was correct. So this is how Anki gives you feedback. You can immediately tell what you did right and what you did wrong. And underneath you see what the answer should have been. So this is what I should have had, what is over here in gray. And of course, green is already correct. So this is good. So the second card type is really useful for people that want to practice their spelling, want to practice their typing. And this can aid you a lot if you want to do that as well. But let's say you want to go back to the first card type only, which was only fill in the blanks, no spelling, no typing. How do you do that? You go to Browse, click on the Korean A1, and you can, what I have to do is I have to get rid of all the yeses over here. And again, if I do this one by one, it will take a really long time. So let's do a faster way. Click any card, it doesn't matter which one. Control A or Command A, right mouse click, Notes, Find and Replace. I want to find the word yes. I want to replace this with an empty area and in enable typing practice. Click on OK. I can tell the notes have been updated. And now we have to get rid of the empty cards. So we'll go to Tools, Empty Cards, and you can see I have all those optional typing practice cards over here. Click on Delete, and they're gone. There's one more thing that I wanted to show you. And many people ask me, Sam, what are the best settings I can use for Anki, and also how do I regulate the amount of cards that I see every day? Well, I'd like to get started with that, so I'll just click on this little icon over here next to the Korean deck. Click on Options, and you can see over here I have daily limits. I have new cards per day and maximum reviews per day. The new cards per day regulates the amount of cards that you see every day, and the maximum reviews regulates how many reviews you do every day. And a review is simply a card that you've already done before. And please note it's maximum reviews per day, so it could be 20 or 30 as well. And currently I'm doing a maximum of 150 reviews a day. If I want to change this to 30, I can do so, 15 to 30, and I can do 150 to 300. Click on Save. I can see that the numbers have increased. I can decrease this again if I want to. I can change this from 30 to 5, and I can change this from 300 to 50. The numbers have decreased. But I like to go back to my original, which was 15 and 150. So just do 15. I will do 150, and voila. These are actually what I would recommend for most people. I think 50 new cards per day is good enough that you can see a good variety of cards, but it's not overwhelming. And a maximum reviews of 150 a day, I think, is also very decent. Of course, you can increase it or decrease it if you want to do so, but I would recommend that you choose a number that you feel comfortable with and that you know that you will do every day. A nice little trick is to have this number over here and do it times 10 for this. So I have 50 new cards and you do times 10 and you get the number over here, which is 150. If I scroll down, you can see there's an area over here called FSRS. And what is this? Well, this is essentially a new and better algorithm. Anki has a default algorithm, and that algorithm determines which cards you see and when you see them. But this new algorithm is a lot more effective and efficient when it comes to memorization. So this algorithm gives you cards in a more effective and efficient manner. And many studies have gone into this, and it is shown that this is the more effective way if you want to memorize things faster. So I really recommend that you turn this on, as I have over here. And for desired retention, I recommend 90%. So new cards per day, 15. Maximum reviews per day, 150. FSRS, I have it on because it's a better algorithm. Desired retention, 90%. Now click on Save. So that is it. That is what I want to show you in this explainer video. I hope you enjoyed my explanation of the Korean A1 vocabulary Anki deck. You can get the Anki deck at languageatlas.com. I repeat, languageatlas.com. I will share all the links in the comments section and in the description, so you know where to go if you want to get the deck or if you want to have more information. I'd like to thank you so very much for watching this video, and I wish you the best of luck when it comes to learning the Korean language. Have a great day and goodbye.